decided to simplify today. We went old school. We've made this into just your good old-fashioned Google Hangout. Nothing fancy, but I'm going to get right to the heart of the matter here when we start breaking down certain things today. So there's three main things that I hope to accomplish by the end of the day, and hang in there with me as we work together on these things. The first thing I want to accomplish is clearing up a lot of the misconceptions related to what we're doing here today. How does it work with ASM? Ooh, I hate ASM, or oh, I heard Amazon sucks now. Things like that. I'm going to show you on my screen real, live, actual customers, many of them saying many vicious things that really actually hurt my feelings. I know I appear to be like very thick-skinned, and I guess in some cases I am, but some of these things I took personally. I want to air them out to you and bring them out to you as well and explore them together and see then you can understand my side of the equation as well as your side of the equation. So one of my favorite questions was, I don't believe you, you're greedy, you're just doing this for the money. And that's a fair challenge. So instead of shirk away from that or act like those kind of things don't exist, I'm going to handle them straight up here today. I'm going to be very blunt, very honest with you. And as you can see, I'm a pretty plain, straightforward guy. Don't even have the fancy video lights on here today. I'm just streaming here in my office, which is where I do run all my businesses out of, and we have multiple seven-figure businesses. The second thing is I'm going to prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that the opportunity is here with real live world. Watch me on my computer as I screen share with you off and on throughout today and do certain searches and show you irrefutable proof that the opportunity is better and more wide open than it's ever been. Also, I got some interesting things here, such as what's in this box. What does this box have to do with anything? And hopefully that piqued your interest and got you glued in a little extra on top of what we're doing here today. Now, here's the funny thing. I am going to attempt to, as long as we have time here, I am going to attempt to be able to answer every single major question that we have flagged. So I'm actually going to share my screen really quickly here. And what you should see on the screen is my computer. And it says Amazon.com. That's where I'm at right now because I'm going to do some searches here in a little bit. But before I even do that, I also have a document. And these are a lot of the questions that we're going to attempt to handle today. Questions such as you're just doing this because you're greedy, and why don't you front me the money, Mr. Moneybags? And I tried Amazon and I failed, and Guru X at ASM was a high price scam, and you're trying too hard. This seems fake and feels like a scam because of the details in the fine print. All the how-to, this is one of my favorites. All the how-to information is freely available on Amazon and YouTube. I can't afford to make a mistake. Amazon is getting shut down, changing terms, shifting sands, no thank you, and on and on and on and on. So this is going to be really fun. I don't actually know if it will be really fun because there's a lot of things that have been said about me and about why I would do this and if it's too good to be true and so on and so forth. But at least it will be productive, our time here together today. And the first one I want to handle right up front with you here. You're doing this just because you're greedy. Here's the position that I find myself in, and it's a challenging position. So listen to me here for a second as I kind of give you both sides of the equation. If I don't share this and keep it only to myself, and clearly it has been effective for us personally, and if you haven't followed along all the way through, I showed examples of how we're getting paid $64,000 in actual specific deposits into our bank accounts every 2 weeks on Amazon, how we built $1 million a year business, a seven-figure business, how Will's wife has built a seven-figure business, and how person after person who has went in with us have built 6- and 7-figure business very often in the span of less than 12 months. So I'm in a weird position here. If I don't share this, then I'm selfish because I'm only keeping it to myself and I'm not helping anybody else. However, if I do share this, I'm greedy. And it's kind of a catch-22 here. So the real reality actually lies somewhere in the middle. Now, would I ever share this if there was no financial incentive and no benefit to me? No. And that's why capitalism is so wonderful. Nobody would sell products on Amazon if they couldn't make money with it. We're not running charities here. We're running businesses. Now, the wonderful thing is you can be very charitable once you have a business that's creating value and generates profit to the shareholders, which in your case is going to be you pretty much and exclusively, or you and a business partner, right? And at the same time is the other point of this is a lot of the reason we've grown so much in our business is if I say, listen, here's how I'm doing it. Here's my innovations. So I come up with the breakthroughs. I lay the trail. I get shot at because pioneers come home full arrows, right? And I figure some of this stuff out. And then I share it with audiences that have the same access to the same resources that we've created for ourselves individually. Now, here's the wonderful thing. This small circle of influence that listens to me, that has access to exclusively only my resources, which we do not sell on the open market, never have, never will, right? And they have my innovations which to play off of. You ever heard the saying, standing on the shoulders of giants? That's what I've created here. And the wonderful thing is my small audience, who I reach at the end of the day, even though it's a small audience, it's more first generation Amazon millionaires than anybody else who works hands-on with an audience. They stand on the shoulders of me and they say, Jason, I tried this variation based upon the resources you made available to me. And Jason, while I was over here doing what you said, I thought about maybe also doing this. And here's the beautiful thing. I learn as much as I teach. The beautiful thing, though, is this. If I have a couple hundred people or 1,000 people or 2,000 people that are all playing off the same game plan with access to only the resources that are available with me and through me, and maybe there I'm selfish, right? I'm selfish for all of our best interests because we want to control the flow of who gets access to them and how they use them. But then it comes back to me. In fact, when you click on the button below this video here, this live hangout, it'll open up a new tab in your browser. And on that page, you'll see one bonus that says $0 to $100,000 on Amazon plus Google AdWords. I'd never thought about using Google AdWords because it's so ridiculously complicated under normal circumstances. But then when James Watson, who joined through us, listening just as you're listening here today, having the same opportunity that you have here today in the very limited time it's available, and he says, Jason, I took what you said and I thought about it and I went out there and I did this. What do you think? I said, that's amazing. I did it then and I tested it and I validated it and it worked. And I showed a couple other people to make sure it wasn't a fluke. They did it and it worked. Now, these are just my customers, the people who joined through us, right? And then I said, whoa. And I go back to James and I said, James, can I share this with everybody? Now, he has the right to say no. But the beautiful thing, just like I'm very open with you and I share a lot of things inside our gated community, which is the ASM Masters, the leader kind of assumes the behavior for the group to follow. And so now other people share because I've shared so much with them. And so because I was a big part of James being able to get up to over 100,000 per month, and you can see his whole story, not even his whole story, you see a part of his story, the best part of it. When you click on the button below here, he decides to give back and contribute back to the community. So am I doing this just because I'm greedy? I would hope that a rational person would not conclude that. Is there some benefit to me for doing this? You bet there is. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. And I have to walk that fine line between what I share and what I don't share. Now, I am going to today, even though we're mainly dealing with specific questions and concerns and outright accusations based around this opportunity here today, I will still show you things for free that most people can't even show you in their paid courses related to Amazon, because the idea here is information only plays so much into the equation at the end of the day when it comes to taking advantage of opportunities. Information and how-to is very limited to the individual who's consuming it. And so there's a very good chance that information alone, if you were just going at it with that, without community support and without some resources that do the work for you, there is potential for error, right? So a lot of what you're getting with us today when you sign up with us here today, and you can see those on the pages, a lot of these are services. So, for example, the China Concierge Program, if you've never sourced from China, we got a guy who's worked with China for 7 years. He's completely on my payroll, works exclusively for me, for myself and my customers who sell on Amazon and no one else. And eventually, after you use him enough, maybe you'll want to come back and actually pay for his services in the future, although it's not required. But the whole point of it is that's a bonus that you get for free as a resource when you sign up. And you will not find that on YouTube. You will not find that on Google. You will not find that in somebody else's course. And if you find somebody who promises to help you, ask them their track record. We have a 99% satisfaction rating. And I believe that's over 700 customers that we help hands-on get a product. We actually have people as part of the China Concierge Program that are on the ground in China going directly to the manufacturer. So that's an additional advantage beyond just helping you source, is having connections that the average person does not have. And so a lot of this is kind of the oomph that we bring to the table. Now, here's the other side, and this is how this serves me. And hopefully you understand that we're going to create a win-win-win-win situation. 4 wins, that's right. And it kind of goes into some of these questions here that I've seen here. Let me find a couple of these because I really enjoyed them because it shows me that I've dropped the ball with touching upon some issues that I think will help you make a good decision related to your future and if this makes sense for you, all right? So here is one of the things that I thought was very interesting is this. Everything I buy on Amazon is cheap junk. And I don't want to be one of those guys peddling garbage and trinkets. That's a word-for-word customer support ticket that we got in. I don't want you peddling garbage and trinkets. We do not get wealthy in the long term with short-term approaches. It just doesn't happen. We have to create value at the end of the day if anybody's going to succeed. So let me show you the win-win-win-win situation here. All right. First of all, you're going to win because you're going to create and sell products that people actually want on Amazon. That'll make it a million times easier for you to build a business that makes you a lot of money that eventually becomes very, very little hands-on work on your part. And so that's how you win. How I win is because your success is something I use as part of my brand. Many people who are referring you to watch this hangout today, because I have a lot of people who could have promoted ASM on their own, instead chose to promote me. And I'm promoting ASM because they want you to get my resources, which a lot of people believe are worth even far more than ASM. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And we'll see and explore what that means. But the point is, I win because it just makes my brand better. It makes people say, if you want to make millions of dollars, forget ASM, forget Amazon, forget everything else. This guy's got the results. And yeah, you're going to have to put some money down to make that happen. Yeah, this ain't a free ride. And yeah, it's not about the price you pay, it's the value you get. I don't sit there and create a situation where I say, okay, how much money can I charge or how little money can I charge? I say, what do my people who are serious about this need to absolutely succeed, to tip the deck in their favor 100%? And then we build backwards from that. Okay, so I win in that situation. Amazon wins. Amazon wins. You know why? Because I will show you here today search results where people are very prominent in Amazon search results who are selling lots of units per day, and the customers don't even like those products. You say, well, why would they buy them then? Well, it's Amazon. It defies a lot of logic. Customers just buy. It short circuits their brain, and they just start buying stuff that's in front of them. So yes, they could buy really crappy stuff. And yes, you could sell really crappy stuff. But here's where that limits you in the long term. You will never get any viral referral. You won't get somebody who buys your product and tells their friend, and their friend pulls out their smartphone and one clicks and purchase it, because Amazon has the largest share of mobile marketing, which is the greatest growth in terms of e-commerce and purchasing products online is the mobile sector. And Amazon just dominates that more than any other market, right? You won't get that. And the reality is when you sell one product, you have a customer base that you can easily sell other products to on Amazon on top of all that, right? So you will win, I will win, Amazon will win, because you're going to pick something that is better than what they're currently buying. And then lastly, the customer wins, because the customer will probably buy the junk if it's put in front of them. But instead, because we're looking at the long term here, they'll buy, you'll make short-term profits immediately, right? But then they're more likely to come back and buy from you again. They're more likely to refer you. And then the reality is Amazon is much more likely to push you to all the other areas that they can get you a whole bunch of free purchases. So for example, they asked us to do a lightning deal on 4 of our products from one of our brands for the holidays this year. Amazon emailed us. It's an email that's easily worth $150,000 to us in sales, probably even more. Now, they wouldn't have selected our products if they were 2.5, 3.5 stars. They only select them because they're 4, 4.5, or 5 stars. And you say, Jason, well, how do I get reviews? And how do I get all that kind of stuff? I'm telling you, look at the bottom of the page here. Click on it, open it up, go down to the 3rd bonus, which is Ben Cummings coaching, and then read one of those bullet points. Ben is the guy that gets all the reviews for our brand. So Ben Cummings and I are business partners, and Ben has an approach that is 100% exactly what Amazon's looking for high quality reviews. That's going to help your conversion rate, help you extend your reach in Amazon immediately to start making sales, and then of course naturally help you for the long term. Now, other people could claim to have that for free or otherwise in their Amazon training or whatever training there is. But again, look at the track record. Look at our success stories. Look at the people that swear by us, and then make your decision on that. And that's one tiny, tiny, tiny little fragment. Before I get into some more of these questions here, and I have some more, and if you have some questions here, if you'll notice on this page, there's a little widget on the right-hand side, I believe, of your browser that says need help or something along those lines. You can click that, and it's going to go right to our support desk. We actually had a question that says, I heard ASM support sucks. I don't know. I've never used it, okay? Because we support our clients directly. And so our support time is typically under 1 hour, just a shade under 1 hour of response time, 24/7, 365, Monday through Sunday, right? That's our response time for support. It's the best in the industry. And so you'll get us as support. And then you say, Jason, if this is so wonderful and so great, why do you not just sell it on your own? Why do you only sell it when ASM is available for the limited time it's available and when it's gone? And I've heard a lot of bad things about ASM. And you're guilty by association, therefore, for the things that I've heard, not experienced myself, but heard third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand, sixth hand. I am going to address that once and for all, and hopefully we can put a nail in that coffin. But before I do that, let me just flip it over here, and I'm going to go back over to this screen. And right now you will see some of the questions that we're talking about here today, but I'm going to switch it over to Amazon. And I'm going to do a search for you here. And this search is hammock. It's a one-word search phrase. And this is live, and just so you can confirm as I do this, it is Sunday, October 11th, 2015 at 12:16 p.m. my time, right? And I just did a search for hammock. So here are the results. The first three results make a lot of sense to me. 2,300 reviews, 500 reviews, 300 reviews. There's a lot of people searching and buying hammocks on a daily basis. But this is what doesn't make sense to me. This result right here. Number 16. Or sorry, number 6. Number 6. And you can actually see it up here in the browser. Search result, page 1, number 6. The 6th overall result for the word hammock. We're not talking about two-person light outdoor hammock. Not that kind of a search phrase. We're talking about a one-word search phrase called hammock. And you see here, 44% of the people who bought this gave it 1 star. So once you see something like that, would any person in their right mind ever buy this product? You would think not. Okay, you would think not. However, I know for a fact people are buying it. In the category of hammocks, it's the 20th best seller on Amazon. Two things about that. There's 19 hammocks outselling it. But the second thing is, if it has a bestseller rank of this, that typically means, in general, and this is updated every hour, this is the 5,685th best-selling product in the category of sports and outdoors, anywhere between 5 to 20 units a day, depending on time of the year and depending on a couple other factors. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that incredible? And you tell me where the opportunity is. Now, here's the funny thing, is most people that you're following, they can't even show you searches like this. They don't even know these things exist. So if anybody's trying to tell you how to sell on Amazon and they're not revealing things like this to you, and I'm revealing this to you for free. Here's a prime opportunity to build a 6-figure business from one product with something like this that's wide open, completely wide open. And I can give this to you for free. So much for being greedy and selfish, right? And this is just one example. Now, here's the beautiful thing. There's a lot of ways you say, Jason, why is this person showing up here? Now, that's something we don't give away for free because people have paid me a lot of money to know exactly that answer. And we figured this out over 1,200 plus top Amazon sellers. Now, here's something else that's interesting. They're almost out of stock. So why is a product almost out of stock with horrible reviews showing up so well for a very, very lucrative search phrase where people are buying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hammocks off of every single day? Would you believe that I've actually figured this out through reverse engineering, trial and error, testing, duplicating, sharing it with members, documenting the results, crowdsourcing results, and then when it's all said and done, writing it in a specific document with screenshots and also videos, if you prefer to run that way, and put it in here? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I could show you over 100 results today. I'm not going to for two reasons. It would take forever. And second reason is I like to keep a lot of the real good opportunities just to my customers who already have paid me money or who are going to invest with me here today by clicking on the button below. But I just want to impress upon you, let's talk about real opportunity. Where do you see opportunity like that? If that doesn't get goosebumps on your skin, check your pulse. You might be dead. I see that and I see $1 million. And I'm just talking about hammock. Once you can show up prominently for a big phrase like that, there's hundreds of customers who shop for variations of this phrase, such as lightweight hammock, such as camping hammock, such as two-person hammock, such as double hammock, such as outdoor hammock, such as indoor hammock, such as best hammock, and a lot of other variations. And again, real quickly here before we move forward, is one of our bonuses. You say, Jason, how do I know what keywords that I can just put in so I can all of a sudden show up for all those things and get all those additional sales? Well, that's bonus number 6. Instant keywords, instant shoppers. There is an algorithm, and again, this is crowdsourced data from our customers, and customers are selling on Amazon in a specific fashion, where we can now have determined by push of a button the ability to rank keywords for any product from most valuable to second to third to fourth most valuable. And you can get hundreds, if not thousands of these. You get 3 of these reports when you sign up by clicking on the button below us here today. Now, I'm going to do one more search for now. If we have time, we'll do some more later. An iPhone 6 case is one of the most bought items on all of Amazon. So if there ever was a competitive search phrase, it would be this. Now, here's the first thing you should notice. iPhone 6 Plus light blue case. This is a sponsored ad. Amazon has very recently, within the last 2.5 weeks, I believe, started showing results like this in the searches because of 2 reasons. Reason number 1, they're always testing and trying new things, but you could basically pay your way, and now you're at the top of the Amazon search results. And this is all buyer traffic. This is all shoppers that are looking for this. But the second thing is they're getting data because they just released a new Amazon ad platform feature. And the new feature is basically allowing you to target in ways that never have existed. Now, there's a lot of ramifications to that. Not 1 in 1 million people who sell on Amazon even know that exists and understands the true ramifications of it. This guy right here does. I was talking to you here today, and we're very shortly going to share that. That's not even a bonus on here. That's just us supporting the community and keeping them abreast of what's going on, right? But Amazon ads are so incredibly profitable. That's why we have on this page, you can see as we scroll down here, there's an Amazon ad insurance policy. And that Amazon ad insurance policy is, let's follow along and let's do Amazon ads the way that Jason teaches it, which has made them even more lucrative recently because of the change a couple of weeks ago. And if you follow my method, we'll cover you up to $1,000 on your ad spend if you don't get at least 5-to-1 return. So that's interesting that that's there, right? But even more interesting to me is, look at this. This is no joke. 0 reviews. And this thing is the 8th overall search result, including the sponsored ad. 3, 6, 8. This is no trickery. Live today, 12:22 p.m., October 11, 2015. By the way, $17 for this case. Not even in stock. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? This thing is not even in stock currently. 0 reviews, not even in stock. Pre-order. Okay, just make sure we understand this. It's like you would pre-order it right now. Customers are buying this. It's the 1,000th bestseller in cell phones and accessory, which is the #1 category in all of Amazon. So being a 1,114 bestseller rank in all of Amazon for a product that you would not get until October 30th at the very earliest, this thing is probably selling 30, 40 units a day. No joke. $500 easy a day in sales for a product that you don't even get for many, many months from now. All right. One last thing here to show you a little extra trick. And this is funny because I'll show you this stuff for free because it doesn't even hold a candle to a tenth of this stuff that you'll immediately get access to when you sign up with us here today by clicking on the button below this hangout. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm using a site called Camel, and I can see a couple things. I can see the price data. So price history over time since they started tracking this, because Camel tracks all kinds of stuff. I can also see sales rank. Here's what's interesting. This product is brand new. Less than a month old listed on Amazon. Less than a month old. It has never dropped in its bestseller rank below 4,000. So it's consistently, since it's been listed, made over 10 sales a day on Amazon. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that defy all logic? It doesn't make any sense, does it? But here's the deal. People who buy on Amazon are not rational in their decisions. They get an impulse. This is the type of products that we sell. They get an impulse. They go to Amazon to scratch that itch of what they want to buy. Something captures their eye. They're not very critical. They see it. Very quickly, they decide whether they want to buy it or not. And then they forget that they've even purchased it until the brown box shows up at their door. Has that ever happened to you, by the way? I guarantee you, you've made that same thing happen when you've bought on Amazon yourself. Now, there's 1,000+ opportunities that exist like this on Amazon in the wild right now. And just in the hands-off, not even the main focus of today's presentation is not to educate, because I did some wonderful education on the last live event that we did. But just even not educating you, did I give you some insights where to go to find when products have started, to see their price point, to see what they're selling, to know if they're good or not, to show you and impress upon you how wide open this is? It's actually more wide open than it's ever been due to some new exposure things that Amazon has recently created. And I just flat out gave away a couple ideas to you here, because here's what I know. Here's what I know. You say, Jason, I'm afraid that if I go and implement this stuff, I might not show up on the first page. And that's an absolute reality. Very well might not. But when you use something like the Viral app, which you can click on to get the full detail below this hangout here today, the Viral app has figured out and pinpointed the types of information to send to Amazon that triggers results like you just saw, okay? Now, I don't control their search engine, and clearly anything and everything is possible at the end of the day, but as much as humanly possible, one of our resources automatically on your behalf sends Amazon the signals that it wants to hear to evaluate and interpret where your product should go in terms of who they're exposing it to and how they're exposing it. And you say, Jason, how does it work? You don't even have to know how it works. It just does it for you once you fill out the form, and then once you provide us some coupon codes. This is a way to shock and awe and jumpstart your exposure on Amazon almost immediately. And I'm telling you, you say, Jason, does Amazon want this? Oh, hell yes, they want this. Do you think that they want to sell products where customers in their impulsive state buy it and have to wait 3 weeks for it? They don't want that experience for the customer. So you have a product in stock with reviews, and you give Amazon a better experience. You give the customer a better experience. You win, Amazon wins, the customer wins, and I win. So here's a very specific way that I win. Because a lot of people ask me, and they say questions like this. I got some questions here. All right? Some of the questions are, I don't believe you and you're trying so hard that it seems fake. So it's a valid statement, because why would I create for you a resource such as the Viral app that I'm giving you for free when you buy somebody else's product, not mine? ASM is not my product, right? When you buy somebody else's product through my affiliate link, so I get a cut on the sale. Why would I try so hard to sell you on this? Trust me, it goes way beyond an affiliate commission. It goes actually way, way, way beyond that. But even in practical, tangible, good business terms, let me explain to you why. We have a Viral app, which we have created, that in 5 to 10 years, I want to sell for high 8, low 9 figures. I want to be the Groupon killer. I do. And I can't do that if we have 10 products in there, 20 products in the Viral app, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 products in the Viral app. I can't do that. I need a lot of products. Now, that's part one. You benefit me by putting your product in my Viral app. But here's part two. I need certain types of products positioned and set up in certain types of ways. And by automatically using our bonuses and our training and our resources that you get for free when you sign up with us by clicking the button below this video here, that takes care of that. That takes care of that. Prerequisite stuff, so when you go and apply for the Viral app, you're accepted. And if not, you're told what to change to make it acceptable. But 99% of the time when people apply, actually 100% of the time in the last 8 months when people apply to the Viral app, just like that, it's been accepted, right? That's some of the reasons that we do what we do. So I don't believe you. You're trying so hard it seems fake. I apologize if it's coming across that way, because that's not my intent. But here's the dilemma that I'm in. And it's a very important dilemma, because I really know that every time we do something like this, for every one success story I get, I know I could have had 10 more. But I didn't say the right thing the right way. I didn't present it at the right time to the right person, and they let it pass them by. I know that to be a fact, that there's people that if we could have just got them to sign up, they would have been doing 6 figures, 7 figures a year, but I missed them. And that weighs on me heavier than you can ever imagine. So I have to walk this fine line here. If I sell from the heel and don't be aggressive and don't create these amazing opportunities for all of us to succeed and all of us to grow, right? Then I'll miss a lot of people. I'll miss a lot of people. I'll miss the Matsons and Morgans. So these are gentlemen that are doing $5 million a year probably this year on Amazon at least. I would have missed them, because if I didn't communicate the value of the opportunity to them, they wouldn't have went through the hardship of doing what it took to get the funds in place to get a go at it. They wouldn't have done it. I would have missed the Philip Jeffsons. Philip Jeffson is now doing over $150,000 a month. I would have missed Phil, because he went into his daughter's education fund. and got the money to make a go at this. Now, you say that's risky, Jason. It's not risky when you look at the guarantee. When you look at the resources we have available to you, when you look at how I can guarantee you profit legally just doing what you're supposed to do. It's not risky then, right? But if I didn't communicate that hard enough, strong enough, if I don't preach with tears in my eyes because of hellfire and brimstone, if I casually present my message, I'll miss it. So if I go too soft, it doesn't connect. Now, if I go too hard, you might think it's fake, it's a scam, it's a trick. You might think it's too over top. It's too good to be true. Too good to be true. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that during this launch. Too good to be true. I say it's too good not to be true. Too good not to be true. Because have you ever seen a situation with this many people being this successful? Have you ever seen a situation for this little of an investment? Really, at the end of the day, it is a little investment compared to everything you get. I know it's going to hurt, but it's what you get. You don't take out a 29-day life insurance policy. You take out the full policy because it's not, oh, gee, how can we just barely get by? It's what can we do to guarantee success, right? So in that aspect, it's a fantastic deal. On top of that, you get all of our resources. You get the Amazon ad policy. You get an incentive to implement with the Tesla implementation contest where somebody guaranteed by February is going to win a brand new Tesla. That's an ASM Masters specifically, right? You get the legal guarantee of profits. You get everything backing you. So it's too good not to be true because you've never seen a situation like this. Trust me, scam artists and con men don't go to these greats of links to set up situations like this. They're too lazy. They're looking for the shortcut. They're looking for the easy mark, right? They don't go through all this extra effort. It's not worth it for them. It's only worth it when you have a genuine once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And so with that said, this is what's really pissing me off. If I may be frank and straight up with my language and not sugarcoating, just get right down to it. This is what's pissing me off, okay? These are, and actually I want to show some of these on the screen. So let me put this back on the screen here and let me show with you some of the comments. And for everyone you see on the screen, I probably heard 5 or 10 people say it, all right? For example, some guru said ASM was a high-price scam. Okay? So don't buy ASM. Buy us. You don't need ASM to be successful. You need us. Now you say, okay, if Jason, that's the case, it doesn't make sense. Why are you selling this only when ASM is available and only when ASM is launched and only through ASM can we get your stuff? Why can't we buy it on its own? Now I will tell you, and this is very, very important to me. The first time ASM was ever offered was the first time I decided to try Amazon. So I feel like at the very least, I owe that to them. If somebody turns you on to something and completely revolutions your life, personal and business and otherwise, don't you feel it makes sense to become aligned with them and to champion their cause and to support them and be on top of that and be consistent, okay? So that's the first thing is these guys turned me on to this stuff. Now, it could be said that we went completely insane with it and went way over the top with it in terms of all the extra resources we gave to our customers because they first turned me on. I got so excited. I told my initial small audience of customers to join me, and a lot of them did. Most of them didn't, but a lot of them did, and they became very successful. And now here's the thing. The first time I ever offered this, the first time I ever offered anything related to Amazon was through ASM, and I specifically said, for better or worse, for whatever it is, I specifically said, the only time you will ever get us is through this. The only time you'll ever get us is through this. And I'm old-fashioned. I'm just an old-school, small-town Iowa boy. And when I say that, I mean it. And isn't it kind of interesting that other people who used to promote ASM now sell against ASM? And here's usually what they do. I got my own course. Buy my stuff instead. Well, first of all, you would not even be on Amazon if it wasn't for ASM. And second of all, show us your results. Not your personal results, because any individual can do good results. Show us your customers' personal results. Show us your track record, okay? Show us your understanding. Pre-sale. Show us what you know about Amazon before you ever ask us to invest with you, okay? But isn't it even scarier? Do you really want to follow somebody who's inconsistent, who this month tells you it's this way, and the next month says, no, I changed my mind, it's that way, and then the month after that, they say, no, I changed my mind again, it's that way? Or do you want to follow somebody who's consistently working the same plan and incrementally every single day consistently making improvements on it? If you improve 1% a day for a whole year, how damn good are you? I'm sorry, I'm getting lightheaded here because I'm getting so jacked up and so passionate, so adrenaline. So let me get my bearings here for a second. Woo! But if you get 1% better every single day for the next year, how damn good are you going to be? That's what we've done here. We've consistently taken the approach and refined it and refined it and refined it and improved upon it and improved upon it and improved on it, because I'm always a long-term guy. My goal is to take the longest term myself so I can provide the greatest short-term, quickest results for my customers that also continue to work in the long term, right? My job is to figure out how to make it as easy as for you as possible. And that makes my job a lot harder up front, but in the long run, it makes it easier because you can't compare what we have available versus what everybody else has available. And here's the other side of the coin too. Think about this for a second. As much as I love selling this stuff, and I do, and I feel obligated to because I believe it's that life-changing, I want to just sell it to you. Christiana, that's Will's wife, she's got $1 million Amazon business this year. We sold it to the loved ones. We sell it to family members. We sell it to anybody who has one characteristic and one characteristic only, desire. I mean, if you don't really want to do the work, it's not a lot of work, but it's some work, right? If you don't want to do the work, I can't help you. Can't lead a horse to water and make them drink. You can only lead them to water. But as long as you have the desire, that's the only qualification on your part. We've got the rest of this taken care of for you. Okay? And I don't care who you are or where you are or what you're doing or what your current situation is. If you have the desire, and the desire is simple. Do I want to become wealthy? That's part one. Part two is this. Given the information available to me, is it worth the effort involved? And I've given you a lot of really good information about how simple it is. Find a product opportunity, and we have the bonuses and resources to automate that basically for you, right? Private label it, which is the last training that I showed you, where we simply find on the internet. In less than 21 days, very often, we can sell private labeled versions of stuff just like that, right? Get it on Amazon and list it correctly. And many of the resources, such as the viral app, such as the automatic keywords, such as Ben Cummings trainings on how to list products and immediately make them bestsellers, that kind of stuff, right? We got you covered. That's part number three. Part number four is the automatic exposure. And that's pretty much everything that I'm built in my business around, is once you list it, proliferating it. So Amazon says, whoa, we want to continue exposing this because we got the proper data that says this one's a hit. So out of our 200 million customers that are on file with a credit card who can one-click purchase, who should we put it in front of? And there's no opportunity anywhere else that even comes close to that, okay? I mean, I got this goofy stuff over here. I got everything from an unbranded water bottle. So you order a sample from a supplier, says, I want to sell a stainless steel water bottle. It's as simple as private labeling as putting your label right here. That's it. Having the manufacturer from China or wherever, send it over to Amazon. Done. And here's what's great. There's stainless steel water bottles. There's also kids' water bottles. BPA free is an extra keyword phrase you can target there, okay? And there's 100 variations of people selling water bottles on Amazon who are all doing 6 figures a year. You can start very simple. This legitimately could be your first product, something along these lines. Your whole inventory order fits in one box. One box. How expensive do you think this is to private label, to wholesale? To send either directly to you to inspect before you pass it on to Amazon, which you don't need to, or send it directly to Amazon. These are travel selling kits, right? They're really cool too. You open them up and it's got the needle and the thread and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of people who sell this kind of stuff because the sewing market is massive and do very well on Amazon. But again, you say, Jason, I only got a little bit to start. Okay, start with a product like this. There's thousands of them where the whole thing fits in a box like this. And I can lift this with a pinky almost. So let's look at some more of these questions along these lines. Let me flip this back over to you. I'm not making this stuff up. These are actual things that people are writing in and telling us. And it concerns me because I must not be doing a good enough job of explaining the opportunity to you. And if I miss you, I miss you. There are so many details in fine print, it feels like a scam. Well, here's my issues. Either we don't make things like this available, where we take a chance on you if you take a chance on yourself. Either we don't show you how, if you follow our system, we'll back you up to $1,000. And we don't create an implementation contest where we give away a Tesla, right? Which is very legally hard to do. It's possible, but it's extremely hard to do. And we don't create a profit of guarantee, the guarantee of profit, with $1 million in the bank to back it up. We don't do that unless we have to cover ourselves to make sure that you do your end of the deal. So yeah, there is a lot of quote unquote fine print here. Instead of being like 16 pixel font, it's like 12 pixel font. It's not exactly hidden because it's right by the add to cart button, right? Not exactly hidden. But the point of it is yeah, there's fine print. Otherwise, the alternative is not to take a chance on you. It's not to invest on you, just like I'm asking you to invest in me. So if that feels like a scam to you, so be it. The scam would be no fine print, really, because you couldn't do all these things. Here's a big one. I can't start until December. I'm going to miss Black Friday. Well, you already missed the last one. And if you don't start now, you'll miss the next opportunity on top of that. Timing is not perfect. Just like the last thing I really want to be doing at the end of the day is doing a live hangout on a Sunday. I want to be watching the Red Zone, NFL right now. But when it calls for it, timing, good or otherwise, if it makes sense, it makes sense, and you got to take advantage of it. All the how-to is free on Amazon. No, it's not, because it's not just how-to. It's not how-to. It's the optimization of the how-to. So from doing this as fast as humanly possible, in 22 days, Ali went from signing up to 20,000. Not 22 days after his first product, 22 days after signing up with us, right? This is not available for free. I guarantee you it's not. Okay? Guarantee you, you will not find that information for free. This is coaching. Coaching is not free. If it's free, you don't want the damn coach, because how good are they? I pay Ben for these coaching sessions, by the way. I've paid Ben a lot of money to do coaching. This resource, this template, it's not a free how-to information. It's a specific application that only our people tap into. All right? This software is not free at all. It's free to you because I paid for it for you. Because I'm investing in you just like I want you to invest in you. I figured if I want you to invest, I'm going to show you how. Up to the minute calibration of what's working now on Amazon. That's not available on YouTube or Amazon or Google or anywhere, right? It's available here. Automation of your keywords. That's not how-to information. That's a service. This is a software. This is a service, all right? Now, maybe you could find something like this, but again, it's the coach. It's not the information. Ezra is a guy who has consulted very often with some of the most successful Shark Tankers, meaning people who went on and pitched their idea on Shark Tank. That's who I get a bonus exclusively from to give to you. And this is a specific application within our resources and framework, which you can't find anywhere else, and so on and so on and so on. You get the point, right? The point is very simple. If it was made available for free, I wouldn't sell it. And I can't sell services for free because I could never support you and I could never create the best type of service. Now, the beautiful thing is I can give these to you for free once you make the investment with ASM. Now, here's the wonderful, wonderful thing, because people keep saying stuff like this. I'm going to pull all these out, and then I'm going to look you face to face, eye to eye. Exactly. I saw this picture on the internet the other day, and it pissed me off. So somebody that on a website that was selling against ASM, so, you know, there's the bias, right? Somebody telling you ASM sucks, but they themselves are recommending an Amazon program. So you got to take that with a grain of salt, okay? This is, by the way, new. They completely updated it, so this person is misinformed. Plus, they added 4 new modules that previously didn't exist, 4 bonus modules, right? I have no idea what they're talking about here. Just ignore that. But they're trying to say you don't get more, you actually get less, and they jack the price up for $1,000. There are so many things wrong with this, it's not even funny. But here's the dilemma. When everybody hears this crap, whether it's true or not, and it gets passed on, and everybody keeps mentioning it and, you know, vomiting it back into the cyberspace, people start to believe this crap. But whatever. Let's just say it is true. Who cares? You're not getting them. You're getting us first and foremost. You see, ASM support sucks. Who cares? It's our support that we're getting it from, right? Review after review after review of ASM Online says that it's maybe average at best and way overpriced for what you get. There's nothing new here. Who cares? It's not what you're getting from them. It's what you're getting from us. Even if you are awesome, and I love that if, right? Not saying you are, if you are. ASM is not, and they're charging way too much for what you get. Sorry, but guilt by association. If I'm guilty by association of the #1 training program in the world for success, for first-generation sellers on Amazon, then I'll be guilty every damn day of the week, right? You think I'm stupid, somebody said to me. You get half the money, and those guys are getting rich from this program, not from Amazon. Who cares about them? I heard the creators of the program don't even do Amazon really anymore. No wonder this, and this is them, their shit isn't fresh, according to this person. And no wonder they get crappy reviews, especially for the price. And every review they get basically is from people online who are talking about an alternative program to promote. I call bullshit. You told us last time that ASM5 was it. And even if you didn't say that, I'm pretty sure those guys said, I don't trust them. Why should I trust them? Don't trust them. Don't trust me. Trust yourself. Know for a fact that when you sign up with us today, you have at the very least a 30-day no questions asked money back guarantee. Take a look on the inside. If it's not for you, back out immediately. Trust yourself to make that decision. But you can't make that decision now because you don't get the whole picture. You only get the whole picture when you sign up. And don't even believe us necessarily. Believe yourself. See for yourself on the inside what our community looks like and see what our people say and see how many success stories we have and see if that's really true. Prove it to yourself. And then if it makes sense, start doing some work. But you say, Jason, if I start doing a little bit of implementation and I spend some money on inventory and I spend some time, those are non-recoverable costs. So even if I get my money back from ASM, I'm hosed, aren't I? No. Because if you implement, then you're protected by the profit and guarantee. You can read the whole thing about it. You're protected on the Amazon ads. Up to $1,000 if you follow the system, right? So worst case scenario, you spend a little bit of time, and it doesn't matter how much time, as long as you're consistent and you meet the minimum requirements, and you make a profit. A small profit, maybe $5,000, maybe $6,000 in a month. That's pretty damn good for most people, right? Even better, though, is you create an asset that continues to make money for you. But here's the real important point, and this is a super duper critically important point, right? The reason why, in addition to all the consistency and all the, I gave my word and I follow it, even if it potentially hinders me from people saying guilt by association, all that crap, right? On top of all of those reasons, here is, in my opinion, the best reason why we connect and still work with ASM. A couple of reasons. Reason number one, they have a badge system. I know it's hokey and I know it's silly, but every time you do certain actions that are key to success in your Amazon business, you have the ability to get a badge. So some of the badges include, like, the first time you even email a supplier, you get a badge for that. And sometimes, you know, a badge signing up for Seller Central, so you can start selling your products on Amazon, you get a badge for that. And, you know, the first time you order your first initial inventory, you get a badge for that. That kind of stuff, right? I know it's hokey and I know it's silly, but it's very programmatically challenging to build a system that does badges and gamification like that. And I sure as hell don't want to mess with that stuff. I don't want to have to build that up. I don't want to have to manage it. I don't want to have to do training around it. I don't want to have to do support around it. I don't want to have to figure all that crap out, right? It's already done. And it works pretty damn good. And it's a very great motivator of implementation. So they've already figured that out for you. Simple stuff such as, like, hey, Jason, I'm overseas and I want to know how to sell on Amazon.com and be paid direct to my bank account every 14 days. What do? Well, there's services like Payoneer out there that are very simple to use, that anybody who sat down could figure them out. And that's what ASM has done. They've documented exactly how to use them step by step, both in PDF, both in video format, and it's fantastic. And nobody can do a better job because it's very simple. Follow this, follow that kind of stuff. I don't want to be wasting my time with that stuff. I want to be spending as much to, if not 100% of my time, working on the high level stuff, figuring out the reverse engineering to the top of Amazon. I want to figure out the new Amazon ad policy updates and how they actually affect all kinds of things beyond Amazon ads, such as how we're able to get over 1,000 new shoppers per month to our products just because of the Amazon change in their ad platform, even though we're not running any Amazon ads to affect that 1,000+ shoppers per month. That's a secret that I'm going to reveal here in the near future after this launch is over. And I'll be thankful when it's over, because as much as I love selling this to you and the limited opportunities available, by partnering with ASM, it allows me a very finite amount of time. So I can sell this once, maybe twice a year at most. And every other bit of time I can spend doing this and helping my members do this. So it's a good place for me to go out there, collect the next generation of Amazon millionaires, and then get down to business with them. So this is all great until it's gone. And it's gone here. Let me pull up the page. I'm going to look at it right now. On the top of this page, okay, I'm going to share this with you. If you're watching this again later, then it will be even less. But you can reference this and know for a fact how much time we have left. As of Sunday, 12:50, this thing expires in 4 days, 13 hours, 29 minutes, and 50 seconds. And ask anybody inside the program, does these things really expire? Yeah, they're gone. When it's gone, it's gone. It's a very clear cutoff line. And ASM is gone. You could think whatever you want to think about ASM. I don't care. They got exactly what you need to get started, basic to intermediate stuff, completely figured out and set up for you. They got a wonderful community of members, et cetera, et cetera. Who cares, though? Here's what you're really getting. You're getting this, the immediate path to profits. And, you know, Ollie says, I didn't even log in other than to claim the badges. If that's your choice, that's your choice. I recommend you take advantage of all the resources available to you, but you don't need to. This is what you're getting. Reverse engineering to the top. 2 months of coaching with Ben Cummings. This is a coach who gets bestseller after bestseller. Want to know how he did that? That's one of his coaching sessions right there. The brand new top secret launch weapon. This software suite that I use every single day for my Amazon business. I don't just sell it to you. I use this kind of stuff because I use Amazon very actively. So who cares if anybody else who's associated with this does or doesn't? What you're buying into is a resource that's only available to people who do it the Rapid Crush way. That's my business. I'm the Rapid Crush guy, right? Me and Wilson Matos. And all of our community, the ASM Masters, are exclusively people who came in through me. So you can make an emotional decision and say, because I heard bad things about this over here, or because I heard a review, or because, you know, ASM isn't currently doing this, and they are, by the way. All of that's crap. That's made up. I know exactly what Jason Katzenbach is doing and selling on Amazon per month, and it's pretty damn good, okay? But you can worry about the perceptions, or you can just ask yourself, is it worth the chance in myself to go make a go at this through Rapid Crush, nobody else, through us, right? And see what happens. If so, click on the button below. You have only gain, nothing to lose. And this is a really good question I got here. Let me find this one, because if I've done my job at this point, here's where you and I should be in relationship to each other. You should be like, okay, Jason, that all makes sense. I get it. You've cleared up some of these little things here that were holding me back from signing up ASAP, right? But I'm still potentially on the fence. And here's my biggest challenge. This is what the person would be saying to me, right? My biggest challenge is, how much time does it really take? How much time does it really take? Because I understand that, yes, it's available to me there, but am I going to have to kill myself to make this work? Am I going to have to give it everything? All right, now let me specifically find the questions related to this, because I love using the language of how people are talking to me. So you can kind of get an idea of some of the mindset of some of these people too. All right, so let me find, there's never passive income. This is a good one. There's never passive income. I have work and work and work more. There's never passive income. I have to work and work and work some more, right? I agree with you. There is no such thing really at the end of the day as passive income. There's efforts that you can put forth once that can pay you for a while. And there's efforts that only will pay you in return for every time you go out there and do the effort, right? Passive income, active income, I don't care what you call it. I call it income. At the end of the day, is there something I can immediately do that'll put me in the realm of possibility of immediately churning income? That's first thing. Second thing, will that thing, even left on its own, have a high probability of continuing to spit off income for me? That's the second thing. Here's the third thing. Is this an asset that I one day could sell for a liquidation event or a huge windfall? Now, here's the beautiful thing. Amazon, the way that we do it, satisfies all three of those criteria. You've seen success story after success story, and if you haven't, click on the damn button below this hangout right now and read them for yourself. Every single one of those testimonies you see on the right-hand side and right down the middle, those are people who came through me and through me only, right? And they attribute it to me. That's exclusively, specifically my people. And you will see people like Mario, full-time job as an administrator at a university, six-figure a month income. On Amazon, part-time. Raul's my favorite example. Raul Mesa, father of four, full-time nurse at a critical care unit. And I know full-time nurses at critical care units, and they work far beyond 40 hours a week, and they have very chaotic schedules. He's also going back to school part-time. And he's very active in his local church and his community, right? Look at his story. He started small. He says, I want to make 3 sales a day. He got up and going. He did the work once, and it was consistently producing 3 sales a day for him. So that's the short-term profit. Not a lot of short-term profit, but some, right? Enough to make his wife happy, which I think is worth a lot of money. Some short-term profit immediately, but the idea is once he did the work once, it kept continuing to make 3 sales for him, and some days 4, and some days 5, and some days 6. And he also has the asset now that he could sell if he wanted to somebody else for $20, $30, $40, $50,000, $100,000 or more. But here's what's great. Raul puts a little bit more time in, not even consistently always, week in and week out. But he says, okay, I want to kick it up a level. Let me put in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 focused hours. And boom, he goes from 3 sales a day to 7 sales a day, from 7 sales a day to 12 sales a day, from 12 to 15 a day. And then there's a snowball effect that takes place. Because I guarantee you, there's no way you see people go from 0 to $1 million in 12 months like I've done over and over again for people on Amazon if there isn't a snowball effect, a tipping point, where you hit that one critical mass where Amazon sees your product and says, we like you, boom, everywhere, just like that, okay? The good news is if that never happens, and don't ever count on that happening, because that would be foolhardy. It's like buying a lottery ticket, right? But know that even if that doesn't happen, you can consistently do what Raul did. Go from this to that to this to that to over $24,000 a month. And here's the most important thing of all. It's not the damn money. Raul comes to me and he says this to me. And I'll never forget this for as long as I live. Raul says, you know what, Jason? I've been able to put all 4 of my kids in private school, and I've always wanted to do that. And they ask me why I sell this. And they ask me, if this is so good, why don't you keep this to yourself? And they say to me, Jason, you're trying too hard. This is why I try too hard. This is why I feel like I don't try hard enough. This is the fulfillment I get. I get to make money. That's awesome. I get to have other people make money. That's awesome, right? More importantly than that, I get the story. Get the story. And I can't tell you how tremendously valuable that is to me. But here's the deal, because there's another question that came in. And the question is very interesting. Why don't you just front me the money, Mr. Moneybags? First of all, I believe legally I can't do that. But even if I could, more importantly, it's the horse to the water, right? This is something I've determined to be true. And it's very, very, very much the reason why I've been so successful at such an early age. Multi-millionaire before 30, right? And I'm just getting started. And my customers, that's more important to me, the successes that they have, because that's how you can judge somebody. Not how much they do, but how much they help others do, right? But here's something I've learned that has been very successful to me, and I'm going to pass it on to you, because I think it'll be successful to you as well, right? The person who invests in themselves first and foremost is the person most likely to get help from others. The person who first takes the chance on themselves seems to get rewarded very, very much so in any and every other facet once they first make that decision to take that investment in themselves and take that leap. I got to have desire from you. I got to have commitment from you. If I don't get desire and commitment, if you don't have to put up a little bit, if it doesn't hurt a little bit when you make your investment, you're not going to be in the mindset to use our resources and to be active and to be proactive and to be successful, because you don't got no skin in the game. I'm asking you to do the first move here. Step up a little bit. Step up just a little bit. You got to come up with the money. You got to make the investment. More importantly to yourself, you got to make the commitment. You got to draw that line in the sand and say, I'm either in or I'm out. And you step in. And once you step in, you're in. But here's the beautiful thing. I ask a small thing from you, because that's a very small thing. And then I help you take care of the rest. That's why I have the bonuses. That's why I have the guarantee. That's why I have the Amazon ad insurance policy. That's why we got the freaking Tesla competition, right? Think about it. Doesn't that make sense both at a logical level and an emotional level with you? Doesn't that seem to feel right to you? And at the end of the day, I'll tell you what, if it feels right, it's probably right. If it feels right and ends up not being right, you don't lose anything. Really, you don't. Because of the guarantee, because of all the way that we reverse the risk, which we do that intentionally to get people who otherwise couldn't justify doing it to now be able to justify doing it, right? But if it feels right, it probably is right. And if it feels right, you should be signing up right now. You should make the decision, the commitment, because if you don't make it soon, it's going to be made for you. And whether you want it or not want it, a week from now, it's not going to be available. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Because as much as I would love to do this all the time, I have to draw my line in the sand. And so there's only a certain amount of time I can sell this, which is not that much, versus all the time I can do it. Because if I don't do it, I don't make money on Amazon myself. And if I don't do it, more importantly, I can't keep continually showing the innovations and the breakthroughs to my audiences and keep them on the cutting edge and keep them producing better than anybody else that exists anywhere, regardless of what course or what approach they've taken, right? So I don't care if you can't start till December. You need to sign up today because that's just how it plays out. I can't afford to make a mistake on my first product, somebody says. Good, sign up with us then. We got you covered. I've removed the ability because I don't want anybody to be able to afford to make a mistake. I want to make the mistakes free. I want to minimize them, but if they occur, I want to make them free for you. And I believe we've done that with the bonus package. Somebody says, I'd rather save the $5,000 important to ads and inventory. So congratulations. It sounds like you're already doing pretty well on Amazon. And if you believe on your own, with the resources and the know-how you have, you can continue to do well and grow. Great, do it. But if you're not doing well on Amazon, or if you've never used Amazon, let's start and let's do it right. There's something to be said about if you're going to do it right. If you make the commitment to do it, you do it right. You don't say, well, gee, I'm going to start with some $10 or $20 Amazon product that I can find on the internet. First of all, how intelligent is the person you're learning from if they themselves only know how to sell their best stuff for a penny? But second of all, you're not really making that full commitment to say, I'm going to try this out. I'm not saying do it forever. Try it out. Make a commitment to do it for a month. You're just dipping the toe in the water. We need the full commitment. That's how we get success, right? The full commitment to try it, knowing that you're not burning the bridge, you're not sinking the boat on the island, right? You do have a way out, but try it and commit to trying it. And by the way, it's so wonderful. If anybody wants to give away all their Amazon information for $5, $10, $15, $20, buy their stuff too. I'm sure that there's a good thing here and there. You don't get the services, you don't get the cutting edge stuff, you don't get the support because there's no incentive for that person because they're not making any money on the offer to you, right? But I mean, you can do both. It doesn't matter. So if you're already being where you want to be successfully, by the way, most of the successful people I know, they invest in this immediately because they take the advantage that they have in their own market with their own product and they expand upon it. But if you don't got any advantage right now, what advantage do you need? And is this the best advantage for you, or is there something else out there? There ain't nothing else out there. When I showed you the example of the hammock, when I showed you the example of the iPhone 6 case, and I have 1,000 more examples just like that, we have the most buy it right away impulsive purchasers on the planet, which is Amazon Prime shoppers, and the only way we reach them is on Amazon, right? We have the ability where it's wide open, where we send the correct signals, which we mainly do a lot of that for you with our bonus package. Then you get immediate exposure. And then you have the ability for once you get that immediate exposure to hit that tipping point, to go from nothing to 6 figures just like that. There is no opportunity that exists anywhere close to this, which is why you never see an offer for an opportunity anywhere close to what we're doing with the bonuses, with the guarantee, with the Tesla implementation contest, and on and on and on. Somebody says Amazon's shutting people down, changing terms, shifting sands. No thanks. Okay. There's a saying by Socrates, I believe it is, and this kind of applies to me personally. Maybe this is why I'm thinking of it. They say, if you never want to be criticized, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. And yeah, that's hard hitting. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make you successful, right? So it's like if you never, ever want to get into any issue with anything that ever exists, never do it. Bury your head in the sand. There's no shifting sand there, is there? You just stick your head in the sand and you're good. But if you realize that, yes, in any world, in any reality, there's two things that you're going to have to be aware of. The first thing is opportunity. The second thing is challenge. There's always going to be a mixture of the opportunity plus the challenge. Sometimes it's a lot more challenge and a lot less opportunity. Sometimes it's a lot of opportunity and just a little bit of challenge. I believe, and I know it to be true, and hopefully you can agree with me even if you don't know what I know, and say, does that make sense or doesn't make sense, right? There's a lot of opportunity from Amazon, but there is a little bit of challenge. Absolutely, there is a little bit of challenge. If there wasn't, I wouldn't have to make the guarantees I make. I wouldn't have to create the insurance policies that I create. I wouldn't have to come up and bend over backwards to create resources to always have us the most unfair advantage. So this is what you really need at the end of the day. You need a community who constantly is not up to date with what's going on, but is already ahead of it, has anticipated it. And so, for example, I knew Prime Day was existing before anybody on the planet who was ever teaching anybody to make money on Amazon knew it was existing. I was the first one to ever announce it. So not only were we up to date, we were way ahead, and we were able to calibrate to the opportunity. I knew Amazon was shutting down people who were trying to be lazy and not do it the right way. They said, okay, screw it. I'm not going to take an ASM course. I'm going to take some guy's $10 course, and he's going to show me how to do fake buys on Amazon and trick Amazon. That's what you get when you pay nothing. That's what you get when the person that's selling the course doesn't stake their whole reputation on it, right? That's what you get. We don't do that. That's silly. That's stupid. I can never have the successes that I have. I can never have the results that we have. I'm putting everything I have into this thing. You think I'm going to do it on a house built on sand? Hell no. And that's why my people succeed. We set up stuff that gets short-term results. You're damn right, because I don't want to wait to make money. But it's also simultaneously going for the long term. So we make money in the short term and we make more money in the long term. And yeah, occasionally we'll have to make updates, and occasionally we'll have to step left instead of right, and occasionally we'll have to make slight adjustments. If you think that doesn't exist in every single freaking opportunity that's ever been out or ever will be out, you're in for rude awakening after rude awakening. That naivety will cost you, always cost you your chance at success. So you can either use that as an excuse or you can accept it and play off of it as an advantage. And I believe we have that advantage for you. I believe, and you believe, you really do believe, if you sat down and thought about it, you really do believe the same thing that I just said and that I believe here. And if that's true, let's take a chance together. It's not a big chance because of all the protection we provide. Go ahead and click on that button now, go through the checkout process, and let's get you going as soon as we possibly can. Somebody says, I don't qualify for the guarantee, Jason. That sucks. Yeah, it sucks. It's never perfect. But the real decision at the end of the day is, do you qualify to take advantage of a wonderful opportunity that's in front of you? And all you need is the ability to come up with the initial investment and the desire. And we have everything else backing you. So the guarantee is great. It's an extra perk. If you're especially brand new to this, you will qualify for it, right? But it's not everything. What's everything is Amazon done the way that we do it with the resources we have available. The guarantee just helps me take somebody who has the desire and the means, but doesn't want to take a risk and say, you don't have to take a risk. That's what that is, okay? Blank is better. So they say Shopify is better, for example. Way more control, customer data, et cetera. You know, I use Shopify, love Shopify. Once you're doing 7 figures on Amazon, it makes sense to go beyond Amazon. Because while Amazon is 15% of all internet sales that take place, there is still 85% out there. And yeah, Shopify has certain benefits that Amazon does not have. That is all true, okay? But if we're going to go down that line of thought, why not just build your own marketplace from scratch? Because then you get complete control. And you know that's absurd, so do I. So there's some give and take. What you give up on Amazon when you're initially starting, is that an acceptable exchange for what you get, which is immediate access to 200 million shoppers with credit cards on file. And by the way, Amazon right now is 0.74% of total commerce that takes place. Every single year it's growing. 22% of customers on Amazon last year made their first purchase on Amazon. So not only is Amazon the biggest, it's growing the biggest, it's the most lucrative, it has the most profitable customer segment you could ever reach, and it has 100,000 other benefits. And the beautiful thing is you're not married to it. You're not married to it. You could sell on Sears, you could sell on any other marketplace, eBay, you could sell on your own website. In fact, we give you a website on Shopify as a bonus. So it's not an either or scenario, it's both. And we figured out a way to eliminate this because people said, do you need to get a website to get started, Jason? No, you don't. However, I realized after not having one for a year that I probably lost another $20,000, $30,000. But I didn't want my customers to fart around for days or weeks trying to get a website up when it's such a small piece of the puzzle. And so this time, for the first time ever, we created the automated website for you as part of the bonus package. Because I sit down and say, if we are consistent, if I'm not zigzagging, if I'm not hopping from this opportunity to that opportunity and saying, I told you this was great, and the next month saying, no, it's not so great anymore. Whoops. And then the month after that saying, no, this is great again. No, it's not. But by being consistent and continually making gains, one of those gains is for the first time ever, we created for you a Shopify platform that you can get set up. And here's the beautiful thing. Talk about leverage. This automatically connects and fulfills through Amazon still, because Amazon fulfillment works regardless of whether you're on Amazon or not on Amazon. It's a choice. It's an opportunity for you. Really? Absolutely. We could go all day if we wanted to, right? At this point, though, we have to ask ourselves, are these big considerations or small considerations? Are you letting little tiny nickel and dime type of concerns stop you from millions of dollars? Or is there something absolutely critical and essential for you knowing whether you should or shouldn't do this? If it's a small thing, you got to really say to yourself at the end of the day, is this a small thing? And if so, am I going to let this stop me? Knowing everything else is a green light. So maybe you might not have exactly every answer up front to make your decision. That never happens, by the way. So don't let that stop you. But say to yourself, does it feel right? Even 1% is good enough for me. And do I have the desire? And the desire doesn't mean you're going to work 100 hours a week, because none of my people do that. Most of them start with just a couple hours a week, which anybody who has the desire can find. And then they grow as their business grows. As their profit goes, they decide, they don't have to, by the way, but a lot of them decide to put in a little bit more work because it's foolish not to. You know, if you're doing $10,000 a month with 10 hours of work, then 20 hours of work doesn't necessarily result in 20,000. It could result in 40,000 because it's an exponential growth type of thing, right? So the small concerns, those, let's get rid of those. If it feels right, it feels right. The big issues, the things that could be make or break, that if yes, then you'll sign up. If no, then you will not sign up, okay? We can help you make those decisions. A lot of the people I had voiced this in the chat logs that I was reading. I need help making my decision, but I need to talk to someone about my concerns. I have a unique situation. And then very often they would tell us what that unique situation is. My concern is for every person that asked us that, there was lots that should have asked us but didn't. And if that's you, there's a big red thing on this page on the right-hand side that says click for support, and support is on the bottom of every single one of our pages. And we're always available to you 24/7, around the clock, 360-day. Average response time is about an hour. And let's see what it is. Because if it doesn't make sense for you, I'm not going to ask you to sign up. That would be foolish on my part, right? But if it does make sense for you and I can help you get clarity on that, and then it is something that's perfect for you. And imagine if you didn't just take that one little thing to say, listen, I'm pretty sure I want to go in, but this is what's stopping me from saying yes right now. Find out, because otherwise you leave it to chance. And that's scary, because this is your future we're talking about here. This is your future we're talking about here. So do the needful. Go ahead and click up, sign up right now. You're either doing one of two things after this hangout with us today. You're either writing into my support and saying, Jason, tell me if this makes sense or not for me. Here's the information. And then we'll assist you. Or you're signing up ASAP right now by clicking on the button, going to the bottom of the page that we have all the bonuses on, making your investment either $14.97, or you could take care of it all at once. So $14.97 space 4 times out, 30 days apart, or all at once, $49.97. Don't care. Doesn't matter to me which one you pick. Get signed up. You'll get access information from amazing.com immediately. And then they will forward us your information so we can get you set up. And then we will email you from where you signed up, what email address you used to sign up. And we'll send you access to the ASM Masters members area. And then in there, you'll be able to get in with our ASM Masters Facebook community. And I can't wait for us to work together, to move forward together, to be successful together, for us to grow together, both business-wise and personally. And that to me is the greatest reward of all, both for you and for myself. And I can't wait for us to share this together. So let's get started. Go ahead and sign up now while there's still time. And then let's get down to business. And let's make a go at it, because Black Friday's coming up. And this is going to be the biggest, baddest, most lucrative Black Friday. And the only way you can make money with it is if you're in the arena with a product up on Amazon, because they don't pay you for products that don't exist, right? And then if you're going to go do that, you might as well do it right. And we're the right way to do it with us here today. Click, sign up. I'll see you soon. Thank you for taking time out to make a good decision in your life. And we'll be in touch.